Coming up on this edition of Southwest TV News. With a new city contract with Triway's Disposal of Regina for automated garbage collection, you've probably noticed a variety of enhancements to the site in recent weeks. The STARS crew recently landed in Swift Current during a training exercise with a new AW-139 helicopter. Summer storms that light up the sky create a sense of excitement for many. And while most of us watch the storms from a distance, Craig Hiltz of Swift Current travels to the heart of the action. Thanks for joining us here today. Recycling is a major step in keeping certain items out of the landfill. And in this report, we find out about some new changes happening at the Swift Current Depot. If the city's one-stop recycling depot is a regular route on your weekly schedule, you've probably noticed a variety of enhancements to the site in recent weeks. With a new city contract with Triway's Disposal of Regina for automated garbage collection, the contract also includes these recycle bins, which are all new, larger, and clearly labeled for the various recycling items, including changes to how plastics are collected and sorted at the depot.
The plastics are graded in a 1 to 7 grading system, and the number 2s are the ones that there's a big market for recycling right now. So we're asking for the number 2s to be sorted out, and the rest all go together, and there's a little less market for them, but they all go together to be processed.
And as you carefully sort through the papers, plastic, glass, and other recycling items in your garage on a weekly basis and transport them down to the city's recycling depot, Minkin ensures local residents that these items are being kept out of the local landfill.
Triway's Disposal has put a sorting and processing center on South Railway. So all our stuff now, cardboard, plastics, everything from the recycle center now goes over to Triway's, and they're processing it at their site there, and then it's transported off a site to their market to deal with the recycled stuff.
Minkin adds that the province is also trying to do its part for the environment through the Multi-Material Stewardship Program.
That's a program the provincial government is working on implementing, I believe, for January 1st. And that program will work with larger companies who produce recyclables to provide some money into the recycling system, so that there's some money to work within the recycling system to deal with all the recyclables that are produced.
And alongside of general recycling, you're encouraged to keep composting in mind as you address your fall yard cleanup. By either composting yard waste such as leaves on your own property, or hauling these items to the neighborhood yard waste bins. These bins will be in place at various locations around the city through November. STARS has a new helicopter as part of its provincial fleet, and the in-flight crew recently made a stopover in Swift Current. The STARS crew recently landed in Swift Current during a training exercise with a new AW-139 helicopter. The AW-139 is the only one of its kind in the province and will work alongside the existing BK-117 helicopter already in use across Saskatchewan. The new AW-139 is based out of Saskatoon, is 55 feet long and 1.5 times larger than the other model already in use, with the capability to transport up to 2 patients at a time. Barry Talmy is a STARS pilot based out of Saskatoon and one of the STARS flight crew training with the new AW-139, and says along with flying at a faster speed of 280 kilometers per hour, there are numerous benefits to the new helicopter.
It's incredible. The BK is a great helicopter. But with modern technology that we have inside this here, with the autopilots, the speed, the flight management system, it's twofold than what the BK is. It's great to fly. As you notice that this one has wheels as opposed to skis that the BK has, so it's a little bit more when we land in fields on grass. It's a little bit more, we can sink in a little bit more. But other than that, pretty much everything that we can go to with the BK, we can pretty much go to with the 139. Even though it's a little bit bigger.
The AW-139 helicopter became a reality through the generous support of Potash Corps and their $16 million donation to STARS for the helicopter and medical equipment on board. An improvement which benefits patients and STARS medical personnel, which always includes 2 pilots, a paramedic, nurse, and possibly a flight physician on board.
The first helicopter, albeit a great helicopter, it's tight, it's compact. So this one, we do the same things, but we just have more the comfort of space, more maneuverability. We can access the patient a little bit easier. So it just makes providing that patient care just a whole lot easier.
The Swift Current stop marked the final route for on-flight training for the STARS personnel with the new AW-139, with plans to have the helicopter attending emergency scenes across the province in the coming days. STARS is a non-profit helicopter air ambulance organization that provides rapid and specialized emergency care and transportation for critically ill and injured patients. STARS operates bases from Regina, Saskatoon, Winnipeg, Calgary, Edmonton, and Grand Prairie. Well, there are numerous storm chasers around the world, and one Swift Current man has been recognized nationally for his efforts out on the road. Summer storms that light up the sky create a sense of excitement for many. And while most of us watch the storms from a distance, Craig Hiltz of Swift Current travels to the heart of the action, witnessing the storms on an up-close and personal level. A hobby which Hiltz takes seriously from a scientific perspective, while trying to get key information out to the general public through such avenues as Environment Canada.
Yeah, there is a lot of science, and we're learning new things all the time, and that's, I think, what makes storm chasing such an attraction for a lot of people, is the mystery of what comes together to produce a tornado. We generally know the dynamics, but we still don't understand exactly what combination of events comes together to produce that really rare moment. And I think that's part of the fun of storm chasing, is being out there and witnessing that moment when it happens.
Along with constantly improving his storm chasing skills through workshops offered by Environment Canada and other sources, Hiltz travels across the province and into the U.S. with a vehicle that contains a number of key elements, from satellites to bulletproof glass.
We outfitted it with a hail guard system, and basically what it's there to do is protect the windows from really extreme hail. One of the big hazards out there is you don't want to be in an intense storm and then have your front windshield get blown out, or your side windows blown out with some pretty intense hail, and then you're stranded or put yourself in a dangerous situation. So the front hail guard is designed to protect the front windshield, and then we've got Lexan bulletproof glass for the side windows, and this summer we actually got it. We had a pretty good test. We got up to about tennis ball size hail, and while it was a pretty intense experience, all the windows held in place, and we were able to keep going and make sure we stayed in a safe position.
His passion for storm chasing expands beyond getting the technical information out to the public, to educating local students on the pros and cons of weather systems, to capturing these striking storm images on film, which have now been recognized by the Biosphere Museum in Montreal.
Actually, 4 of my images were selected, and they're now on permanent display in this exhibit in Montreal on environment, educating more people. Actually, I had a chance to go out there and see them in person, and I was very proud of it because, again, I'm helping spread that education, because each one of those pictures is accompanied with a write-up on what it is and how it impacts our environment. And so again, it's just passing on that information and hopefully educating people and making them excited about weather.
And as Hiltz looks forward to the 2015 storm season with road trips planned for south of the border, the interest in storm chasing is slowly rubbing off on his family.
And actually this summer, my last chase of the year, was a really special chase. It was the first time both of my kids came out. My 16-year-old and my 13-year-old came out chasing with me, and their first chase out with their dad, and they almost caught their first tornado. It was just feet off the ground by Tompkins, Saskatchewan here, and And so that was a fun experience. They've always wanted to come, and I feel they're old enough now to understand it and start learning. So they both came out and had a good time. So hopefully we'll have some more chases together as a family in the future. So it might take a little bit more convincing for my wife to get out there, but.
Greg Hiltz, local storm chaser, following his dreams out on the roadway while keeping public safety top of mind. Well, this brings to a close another episode of Southwest TV News, reporting the stories that matter to you. We always welcome your news tips. You can always reach us here by phone at our studio or by email to contact us at southwesttvnews.com. Also, be sure to join us daily online for the latest news from across Southwest Saskatchewan and so much more at MyLocalTV.ca. And be sure to follow us on a range of social media. Thanks for joining us here today. I'm Carol Andrews.